The Lindner Family Tennis Center fell silent. Not because of a dramatic point, not because of a controversial call, but because the sky had turned an ominous shade of gray. Dark, thick clouds blanketed the stadium. The air grew heavy. The wind picked up. And then came the lightning. Tournament officials had no choice. The match between Alexandra Eala and Elena Gabriela Ruse was suspended. Eala was dominating, 6-1, 3-0, serving with a 15-0 lead. She had won 9 consecutive games. She was on the verge of the most emphatic revenge victory of her career. And then, everything stopped. The players left the court. The crowd sought shelter. The stadium emptied. And the tennis world waited. But here's what nobody expected. When the match finally resumed, something strange happened. Something that left the tennis world stunned. Something that made fans question everything they thought they knew about the rules of the sport. The match wasn't restarted. It continued from where it left off. But why? Why didn't the officials restart the match? Why did Eala get to keep her massive lead? What was the real reason behind the decision? And why did Eala herself later reveal a shocking truth about what really happened? Welcome to RallyVerse. Today, we break down the incredible story of Eala's Cincinnati match suspension, the weather, the rules, the controversy, and the revelation that stunned the tennis world. The date was August 15, 2026. The place was the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio. The stage was the second round of the WTA 1000 Cincinnati Open. The stakes could not have been higher. Alexandra Eala, the 17th seed and world number 20, was facing Elena Gabriela Ruse, the Romanian veteran who had broken her heart 2 years earlier at the U.S. Open qualifiers. It was a rematch that had been brewing for months. A chance for Eala to finally settle the score. A chance for the Filipina to prove that she had evolved into a completely different player. And from the very first point, Eala made her intentions clear. She dropped the opening game of the match. It was a long, grueling battle. Ruse had broken her serve. The Romanian had taken an early lead. But then something changed. Something shifted. Eala found her rhythm. She won the next 9 games in a row. She took the first set 6-1. She stormed to a 3-0 lead in the second set. She was serving at 15-0. She was on fire. She was unstoppable. The crowd at Halsam Stadium 3, packed with passionate Filipino-American fans, was in a frenzy. The flags were waving. The chants were echoing. The energy was electric. Eala had already beaten Ruse once before in a revenge match in Berlin earlier this year. She had also beaten each of her last 6 opponents who had previously defeated her. This was her revenge tour. And Ruse was next on the list. But then, the sky turned dark. The clouds rolled in. The lightning flashed. The tournament officials had no choice. Play has been suspended due to inclement weather approaching. Please seek shelter, the Cincinnati Open announced on its official X account. The players left the court. The crowd dispersed. The match was paused with Eala just 3 games away from advancing. The tennis world waited. When play is suspended due to weather in professional tennis, the rules are clear. The match does not restart. It resumes from the exact point where it was paused. The score remains the same. The momentum remains the same. The lead remains the same. It doesn't matter how long the delay lasts, whether it's an hour, a day, or even a week. The match continues from where it left off. This is a fundamental rule of the sport. It has been in place for decades. It applies to every tournament on the WTA and ATP tours. The reason is simple: fairness. If a match were to be restarted from the beginning, the player who had built a lead would be unfairly penalized. The player who was trailing would be given an undeserved second chance. The integrity of the competition would be compromised. So the rule stands. The match resumes from the exact point of interruption. This is what happened in Cincinnati. Eala was leading 6-1, 3-0, serving at 15-0 when the suspension was announced. When play resumed, she would return to that exact moment. She would be serving at 15-0. She would be just 3 games away from victory. The rules were clear. The decision was straightforward. But that didn't stop the controversy. Fans and analysts began to question the fairness of the rule. Some argued that the delay had given Ruse an unfair advantage. She had been struggling. She had called for a medical timeout to have her right ankle taped up. She was clearly in pain. She was clearly frustrated. And then, the weather gave her a reprieve. A chance to regroup. A chance to recover. A chance to reset the momentum. Could Ruse use the delay to her advantage? Could she come back from a 6-1, 3-0 deficit? The questions swirled. The debates raged. And the tennis world watched with bated breath. The wait was agonizing. Eala remained in the locker room, focused and determined. She had been in this position before. She had faced delays and disruptions. She had handled the pressure. And she was ready to finish the job. Ruse remained in the locker room too, no doubt using the time to regroup. The injury to her ankle had been a concern. The delay had given her a chance to recover. She was still in the match. She was still fighting. When the weather finally cleared, the officials announced that play would resume. The players took the court. The crowd returned. The flags started waving again. The energy was back. Eala stepped up to serve. She was at 15-0. She was just 3 games away from victory. She took a deep breath. She tossed the ball. She hit her serve. And then, something happened. Something that stunned the tennis world. Something that made the match even more dramatic than anyone could have imagined. Eala's serve was on fire. She held her serve in the 4th game. She broke Ruse's serve in the 5th game. She held her serve in the 6th game. The match was over. Eala had won 6-1, 6-0. It was a masterclass. It was a statement. It was the most emphatic victory of her career. The crowd erupted. 30,000 voices rose in unison. The Filipino flags waved wildly. The tennis world was stunned. Eala had done it. She had avenged her loss. She had settled the score. She had proven that she was not just a promising talent. She was a champion. But the controversy didn't end there. After the match, Eala gave a post-match interview that left everyone speechless. She revealed something that no one had expected. Something that changed the entire narrative of the match. Something that made the tennis world question everything they thought they knew. In the post-match press conference, Alexandra Eala was asked about the suspension. She was asked about the delay. She was asked whether she thought it had affected her momentum. And her answer stunned everyone. "Actually, I'm kind of glad it happened," she said. Eala explained that the delay had given her a chance to catch her breath. She had been playing at an incredibly high intensity. She had been dominating the match. But she had also been expending a lot of energy. The delay had given her a chance to rest, to recover, to refocus. And when she returned to the court, she was even more determined than before. She revealed that she had used the delay to visualize her victory. She had imagined herself serving out the match. She had imagined herself hitting the winning shot. And when she stepped back onto the court, she was ready to make it happen. The tennis world was stunned. Instead of complaining about the delay, Eala had embraced it. Instead of blaming the officials, she had thanked them. It was a display of mental toughness that left even the most seasoned analysts speechless. "I just focused on what I could control," Eala added. "I couldn't control the weather. I couldn't control the officials. I could only control my own game. And I knew that if I stayed focused, I would win." It was a masterclass in sports psychology, a lesson in resilience, a testament to Eala's maturity and composure. The tennis world had seen many great champions, but few had ever shown such poise in the face of adversity. The victory over Ruse was more than just a win. It was a statement. It was a declaration that Alexandra Eala is ready for the biggest stage. The Cincinnati Open is Eala's final major tune-up before the U.S. Open, which begins on August 30th in New York. A deep run in Ohio would give her the confidence and momentum she needs to make a serious run at the Grand Slam title. The draw in Cincinnati is stacked with top players. If Eala advances, she could face world number 10 Amanda Anisimova in the round of 32. A potential showdown against reigning Wimbledon champion and 6th seed Linda Noskova also awaits deeper into the draw. Other notable players in her bracket include 3rd seed Jessica Pegula, whom she already beat in the DC Open final, and either Elena Rybakina or Iga Swiatek. But Eala is not afraid of the competition. She has a 9-4 record against top 10 players. She has beaten the world's best, and she is playing some of the best tennis of her career. She enters the tournament with a 7-1 record on the North American hardcourt swing. She has already won a title and reached the round of 16 of a WTA 1000 event. She is the busiest player on the WTA Tour, having played more matches than anyone else this season. But beyond the rankings and the results, Eala has something even more valuable: the support of a nation. The Filipino-American fans have transformed Cincinnati into her own personal barangay. The legends of the sport, Billie Jean King, Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, have praised her talent and resilience. The tennis world is watching, and Alexandra Eala is ready to deliver. The victory over Ruse was not just revenge. It was a statement of intent. It was a reminder that champions are forged in moments like these. It was a celebration of everything she has overcome. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the bright lights of Cincinnati, Eala's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary.